Welcome to another great episode of the Imagination Podcast. This is Jared, your host, accompanied by
Johnny Ray, yet again.
Jeremy Harnigan.
Angie Chia.
Ruben Vaca.
All right, ready to kick off a very exciting new podcast tonight. Going to be discussing some of Johnny's favorite things. Console Wars, which I'm thought has been dead, is done in every medium. But let's get started anyway. The first thing, as we always discuss, any new build developments. There we go. Build. Let's discuss the recent build developments, including improved character select avatars. We've now remastered them with a more of a 2D illustration style, and the characters, I feel, it gives off a more streamlined and set aesthetic of what the viewer should be anticipating. Any success with that, guys? Do you like it? I know that Jeremy had some thoughts.
I like it a lot.
Like it a lot?
That's my thoughts.
So you're like, yeah, like to see that, and then you have the 3D model, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just really anticipating, we got some new outfits coming out in the following weeks. So he stated that a lot of times. So I know he'll be looking forward to that. Additional animations for Rin like Freefall. Did anyone like any feedback on that? Johnny and Ruben?
Oh yeah, well, 'cause I guess more in the the UI and stuff is nice, and then some of the title screens I like the style, but maybe I could make it a little bit darker, like tone some of it down because kind of white in the like some of the new screens that we showed, like for the like the grunge of the the red and white and stuff, like maybe have like a little bit more like darker neutral or something. Might be good for that, so it's not as bright, and then or something that contrasts well with the text too. I guess might be good for that.
Like a nude or what? Because I think if it's too dark, then
Maybe more like a lightish gray tone or something.
Yeah.
Like not white, just something more off.
Yeah, because it's like super white. I don't know.
I'd like to see silver.
Oh.
If we have choices, I'd like to see silver. I think
It's no use.
I think that's not been done enough. Is silver for a background. Do you like the more simplified look of the background with just a set color, or would you like to see more?
Well, I mean, the graphic is cool. I think maybe just knock it back some, just tone down to like a more, I guess, gray or silver or something. But we good.
I can see it.
And then, well, I don't know, because something else was going on with the build or something, because I didn't really get to see some of the other aerial attacks with Rin, but I think for the voice, like maybe for her laugh and the tone, I could raise the volume on that. Because it didn't really, I don't know.
All right, cheat shot. Who liked that Lucas left in, you can taunt while in the air with Rin? I think that's sick.
I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah. You heard her demonic laugh as she flies in the air. It's like, what the?
Oh, so her mom, she doesn't stop and do her animation in the air, though, does she?
No.
She just cackles.
She just cackles, yeah.
Awesome.
It's fun.
I'd vote for leaving that in then.
I kind of like it.
I could just see her jumping around cackling while someone's getting flying off. Flipping them off.
We need screams for the deaths, though.
Do we? Because I have those. I wasn't comfortable if the team felt that's good. Because the
I think it'd
team
be cool
previously, the team didn't like that idea.
Why not?
Oh.
They said it was too. It interfered with the immersion of the user. It happened too often. How do we feel about that? Because I haven't actually about
I
that.
agree with that, actually. That it'd be distracting. But I guess
I'm just
we
waiting.
can always see.
I'm waiting on the new
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
This is a fresh team, really, when that happened. And I was 2-3 months ago.
I mean, we don't want to draw too many parallels to Smash, but pretty much all the characters do make a noise when they die. It helps signify it more, at least when they're flying off. I would like to have it just because sometimes I'm oh wait, I am dead. Or I don't notice until I'm have to look and see that I'm flying off.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I mean, like we said though, we can always just try it, see how it feels, and if it's not right, it's not right. But we did record all of them.
I'd like to hear those.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll send them over.
Yeah, I had a lot of gyas I had to record.
And then Ruben noticed one thing that I'm really happy that he liked was in the last time we played was when the character dies, the HUD resets. I think that was one of the first times he noticed that. And I feel like that's an important part of letting the user know when something resets.
Yeah.
We did in the last build. We did implement all characters now have hit sound effects. So that was really important. I felt like they now have a little bit more personality instead of just being a 3D object. It could speed up like a sack of corn. Any thoughts on that? You guys like that? Did you notice it?
I didn't notice it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I noticed that. I have to check that.
Since I wasn't there for last time, are you talking about the hit grunts?
Yeah, the hit grunts.
Yeah. We'll have to play the build a little bit tonight just so I can really look into it.
I remember Titus's Titus,
Titus,
like
yeah.
his hit grunt, yeah.
His, you remember his? Because I was gonna say we also I think we showed it off, me and Jeremy or me and Waylon, where he charges up and he does have that sound now, where it's like ah!
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I remember that.
I remember that.
we had that one because I felt that was a very second characteristic of the character. All right, moving right along. Red character inclusion. Discuss Red getting a starring role in Indie Assault. Who wants to start?
Well, when I saw her, the first thing that came to mind was Cloud's Buster Sword. Like,
Yes.
she makes it look really heavy, while Cloud makes it look weightless. But I think, from just what I saw in the video, that she seemed like she would be too slow compared to the characters that we already have. Because the other characters seem more fast.
Bounce
That she
around.
would be kind of dragging a sword around. But I don't know. I think it's a cool idea though. If we give her more speed or something.
Yeah, I'm just not really down for us having another sword character right now, just because we already have Titus as our sword character, so I don't think we should have a character that you could easily draw another comparison to.
Mm.
And possibly Volgar, if we have him. So,
Because he could attack with different things other than just a sword, so...
Right.
Yeah. But, a character that is based on sword attacks, I mean, coming up with a way to make her more... play completely differently, we could do that. It's totally within our ability, but aesthetically, I don't think it would... I think it would be kind of distracting, especially since we have a smaller cast at this point.
So you feel like she'd be like a handicapped version of Titus in a way.
Kinda, yeah. She'd be a slower, more powerful...
Full
maybe,
version of him. Got it.
which would be all well and good if we, were shooting for 30 characters, 30 characters, but
Yeah.
at this point,
Yeah. Well, I'll throw my hat in. A large blade wielding character from a visually striking universe. Take my money now. Supergiant Games has done a fantastic job with exploring her universe. I think she's a really versatile character. I think in her game that we might focus maybe a little bit more on her special abilities. But at the end of the day, I think from a visual standpoint, I think she'd stand out. In terms of, a possible future collaboration, I would be open to it. Now, notwithstanding, this is a pretty big IP, so, Supergiant would have to want this in very seriously. Because with our latest IP, they've done leaps and bounds for not only their character inclusion, but also for...
Fail.
also for wanting to have their character in the game, because it's not just about showing off your character, it's about exploring them and bringing to a new audience.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting style, and I think if because they're saying about the IP and stuff, maybe if they were okay with giving us some creative freedom with the moveset, then we could definitely do something with her special abilities. I think that would be interesting.
Good. You got that SMS right, sir? All right, moving along. Garen, character inclusion. What do we think? Discuss if Garen from Soul Saga should be an Indie Assault. Johnny, kick this one off. I know you have big...
Well, I like the thought of having a role-playing character in there, since so far we have not gotten a role-playing character, which, that was something that PlayStation All-Stars was severely lacking, especially when it's...
True.
Role-playing games are one of those big things that everyone loves. And a big part of any large group of games. Like Nintendo, they had Fire Emblem, they had Mother, they had this and that, Pokemon. So I would like to see maybe him. He would definitely be a really good heavy character, which is something that we will need. But since a lot of information on him is scarce, is the only problem. So like looking into him, designing a moveset with, it would be a lot of it would be in the ballpark of Disaster Cake.
Yes, very true. Of the original creator. Angie Rubin, I know you guys might like that.
Well, no, it was just interesting because their concept art was a lot different than their 3D, how it translated, because it's like kind of more chibi or something. How that would translate, it might be like a smaller character. But
Chibi Nightmare? Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. That might be cool I don't know if they'd be open to making a more realistic version based on the concept art, or if they would want the chibi style. Because that might be cool to do if they're open to it. But I don't know. That's kind of their art style. They want to translate it to 3D. So
yeah, I mean that's one of those things that we'd really have to talk to them about, because personally I'd like to see the concept art version.
Yeah.
Just because I feel that would have a lot more presence.
Yeah, same here.
Just because the chibi one, while it would be cool to represent how he looks in this game,
JRPG.
yeah, he if we had it like that, then it might look a little goofy. Like Bowser. He looks like a grade A badass in Smash when he looks like a goofball in Super Mario Bros. So
Also, definitely showing how serious does the character want to be taken? So I think it's a big thing. Because we can all look at Spade and notice, we took a more realistic approach to him as a anamorphic mammal, right? So.
Garen's character bio said that he controls a monstrous ink heart creature. Did you see that ink heart?
yeah.
What if we did a paired? If he's controlling the monster.
As he's fighting?
Yeah.
Like Luma? Rosalina Luma? Like that?
Where's that?
In Super Smash
Super
Bros.
Smash 4.
Oh.
So you control...
The chick in the blue dress
Oh.
from Mario.
Possibly have the creature by his side, or if he dies first, then you could still control Garen or something like that.
Kind of like Ice
Oh, like Ice Cream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either that or have him come out in certain attacks and hit instead.
Yeah.
Do you see that happening?
It'd be obnoxious to rig, but
Be fun.
yeah, it would be rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
Rewarded. Okay. I think definitely Garen has a very firm stance here with all of us. For me, taking a vote, I say yes. I'm very excited about a Japanese-inspired heavy character for inclusion in Indie Assault. So Disaster Cake, should you ever be listening, we're very open. I see your character as, very fun, a very distilled character that I could see, going toe-to-toe with some of these, popular mascot characters. Any thoughts, Johnny? What would you say, in general, for voting?
Definitely a yes for him. I would love to see him. He'd have a pretty cool, varied moveset. At least that's what we've got pretty much from his bio and everything. And
plus, when we see footage, it'll be a lot easier than going off of a Kickstarter video.
yeah, and another thing is, they're coming to every single platform that we're coming to. So
Nice, yes.
yeah, so
That's for release.
it'd be great promotion for both of us.
Amen. Any feedback? Right side of the panel. Angie Rubin.
Yeah, I say yes.
Say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. One of the most coveted character inclusions in our game the beloved, the sexy Susan Ashworth from The Cat Lady. Should she be a playable character in Indie Assault? Community and panel. Shout off.
I didn't even know what to say. I was looking at him like, what are we going to do with this?
That's what I thought.
I'm like, wow. I mean, sure, they gave Phoenix Wright a moveset in Marvel vs. Capcom, but there's a bit of a difference. I mean, Phoenix is already comical.
Here you have actions too. With all
Yeah,
those motions.
objection!
Yeah.
You know? But her game just seems it's artsy. So trying to take a character like that and putting them in a game where, you know, we can throw a black hole bomb and then a small little white cavi can pop out and throw a card in the face of a spacesuit wielding galactic fighter. I don't think that's a very good fit.
It's like a side scroller mystery horror or something, like
Yeah.
it just kind of walks around and
Well, it's the same
It's
reason
like-
why The Wanderer didn't make it to PlayStation All Stars. The dev team told them no. They didn't want to see their character like that. But I think it would be very much the same thing if we talked to their dev. And the moveset would be obnoxious. Finding a good way to model her, obnoxious.
yeah, because it's like kind of a flat character.
Yeah.
So either trying to represent that in 3D would be difficult to say the least.
Super difficult. I feel like we'd come up with like a comedic conclusion where it would be like a spin-off like the original Mortal Kombat with the human face and the cartoon body. That's right now what I foresee.
Yeah, either that or we'd have to game and watch it, and just
Mm.
figuring out how to do that in our game, I can't see it. Especially since her world, her stage, we would have to make flat variations of the other characters, like Game and Watch, which is that's the only way it would fit with that art style. So
Enough to go off of. Me, vote pass for me.
yeah, no, not right now, no. No.
I'm not seeing it either. I don't know what we can do.
Angie Rubin.
Same here.
Yep.
Same there. All right. Moving right along. Next topic on the agenda: console wars. With E3 just around the corner on the horizon, what is your favorite console of choice? Panel. Jeremy.
I never really cared that much for console wise
Which-
or anything, but
Well, on your personal time, what do you game on? Unless you're Android, like any platform.
laptop, PC.
Laptop.
Master Race?
What, Master Race? Yep.
Yeah, PC
I
Master
doubt
Race.
it. He doesn't talk enough about it.
No.
Yeah. Johnny.
I go back and forth. I play almost because I have all the latest consoles. So the ones I play most are my Vita, my 3DS, and my Xbox One. Just because the PS4, I'm not as keen on the exclusives, really, and that's the main reason keeping me from playing my PS4. There's just nothing I really want to play on it, and all the multi-platform stuff, other than like Batman, looks better on Xbox One. So usually I stick to my Xbox One when I want to play like hardcore heavy games, or I'll go to my Wii U when I want to get down some Splatoon.
Well, for me, I guess it's been more like PlayStation, like when it's going more towards the next gen, just because they seem more like up until PS4. I don't know. I'm planning to get one, but like up until that point, they've been more like with the reverse compatibility and like the free online and stuff. Was the Xbox kind of didn't really have that and stuff, so it was like kind of a selling point for me, and also just more just seeming, I don't know, caring about their customers and stuff. And I do like some more of the PlayStation exclusives and stuff, but like there are some other games I do like on like Xbox and like Nintendo and stuff, but I guess I spend more time doing some stuff on usually with the PlayStation and then some mobile stuff too, so haven't been able to keep up as much with some of the like having as much of the next gen systems, but there are some other games for the different platforms I would be interested in too, and then especially just for like different exclusives if they happen to be only on certain platform or something. So.
So all of them.
I've
Okay.
I've played on PlayStation majority of the games that I've played on PlayStation, but I've gone through different phases of like playing on PC and my 360. Just depends what I'm in the mood for, I guess.
Mm.
I usually like to play like MMOs on the computer, and then like shooters on Xbox.
Yeah, it could kind of depend on the game that you're playing too. Like, yeah, I would prefer like shooters or driving games like on Xbox, and then like fighters or something on PlayStation. Or
Yeah.
Because PlayStation always has more fighters, especially since a lot of the Japanese companies love PlayStation.
Yeah.
You know, like there's no like BlazBlue is barely on Xbox One or Xbox 360. There's none on Xbox One. Or Battle Fantasia, that one was on both, but it did way better on PS3 than it did 360. So, and Fighting Vipers is coming out, which I'm really excited to play on PS3. I think it's coming out for oddly. Why? Okay.
Interesting.
Great thoughts, panel.
I wish Sega was still in the game for that, because they had a lot of cool games. But
They have a ton of great IPs, but they just think that they have Sonic. They're like, well, how about Jet Set Radio? Nah, he's into Sonic. Okay, how about Space Channel 5? Sonic.
No, how about Streets of Rage? No,
No, Sonic.
Sonic.
Golden Axe? No.
No.
Always terrible too.
I know.
Always bad.
Yeah, like Sonic Generations wasn't awful, but I was so bummed. I got Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric.
Oh no.
I got it for free because Target was doing a buy two get one free, but I'm like, oh god,
You're
even
wasting
getting
your
this
money.
for free, this is kind of really bad. And I'm a huge Sonic fan, so I get that disappointment like good once, twice every year.
All right. Panel, do you see long-term growth through peripherals and interactive experiences to continue making you loyal to said platform?
It depends on the platform we're talking about. 'Cause
Okay, panel. If like you're an Xbox One gamer with a Kinect, will that make you stick with that or the what is it?
Smart glass?
Yeah, the smart glass keep you connected to your Xbox.
For me, because like I said, I have everything. So Kinect is pretty much just become a way for me to be more lazy. Xbox, turn on. Xbox, snap achievements. I like being lazy with it, but you know the games that they have available for Kinect are, especially on Xbox One, are few and far between. So they're not supporting it whatsoever. While they're like, oh, you've got gyroscope and NFC and Wii remotes. I'm like, oh, and they actually really work into all their games. Like, even if the peripheral isn't using its full potential, you can still use it. Like, you can use a Wii remote on New Super Mario Bros. Works just fine. Sony just needs to stop. The Move was awful. It was a failure. Just don't bring it back. They let us use our old Move controllers, but not our DualShock 3s. Really? There was such a big demand for us to have sports champions on PS4.
Well, I think that's a interesting point. Is this panel, and more importantly, the industry looks towards in-home entertainment, unless people going to the movie theaters and whatnot with the Morpheus and the what's the other big one? Facebook, Oculus. The Morpheus and Oculus, yeah. So as we know, Oculus does require a hardwired PC, but with like the Morpheus, you can use the PlayStation Move controllers. Do you think that will be a big, since that actually had somewhat of a market previously?
For like the virtual reality.
Mm-hmm.
The last video I saw on that, someone was using it to make it where you could virtually snuggle with anime girls. That was, I'm like, okay, so that's the pinnacle of the technology. Making a love pillow.
Sold.
Yes.
I'm like, if
I'll take two.
yeah. I'm like, hey, if Nintendo were doing some of this and I could actually see my Pokemon that I'm sending out, cool. But a lot of the like Sony IPs, I can't see it. Just like seeing through the eyes of some of those characters, it would get really jarring. Like looking through Nathan Drake's eyes, you're going to be just staring up the cliffside trying to climb it up it. Or Kratos, you're just going to see blood flying everywhere. It's going to obscure everything. Ratchet and Clank, you're running and jumping all over, so it's going to be hard to keep track. I mean, the only one I could really see it in is Twisted Metal, and God knows they're never going to make another one of those.
That would be pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Just the middle.
It's first person, like,
Awesome.
first person Holly. That's like the only game I would really get down on with Morpheus. Or maybe Indie Assault, Jared.
Oh yeah.
First person Indian.
So you're gonna be the camera, and then your controller's gonna control the character. Like
No, you're just like looking through Tidus's eyes down that straight 2D plane.
You just see like nothing.
Let's grab burst. You have to nod your head backwards, and that activates a burst.
Yeah.
I can totally see it. Boom.
We get all these like lawsuits.
What flash?
We'll be like, oh no, technically that's Sony's preference.
Boom.
You talk to them.
Boom. Like the Gearbox and 3D Realms lawsuit. Like, oh, you said 1080p on blah 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 platform. Like, nope, we never claimed that. No, we did not.
Or like Saga going back and changing all the aliens, colonial marines to say not actual gameplay footage or still in development for all their old scenes. Because Gearbox was siphoning money to build Borderlands 2. Yeah. Yeah. There was like, that was...
Speculation, sir, speculation.
Uh,
Alright, last question with the console wars. What game or accessory would make you switch platforms and why? Angie.
I don't really know, because I haven't even played the new Xbox One. Really never like spent a lot of time online
Mm-hmm.
to really know what's that new, but I don't know, I just care about having fun.
Ruben?
Game so like an exclusive title, or
Yeah, exclusive title, or
if they brought back, I don't even know if they're gonna do it, because I think they made in Japan, but I don't know if they're planning to release in US the third Shenmue, because there was speculation of the last gen one that if it was like if they bring it on Xbox or something, I would get it for that or something.
It would most
But I
likely be
mean,
on Xbox too, because Shenmue 2 was Xbox original exclusive, so that would make sense.
because it's Dreamcast and then original Xbox.
Because what would make me jump on my PS4 would be Ape Escape. If they made like a real Ape Escape 3, or well 4, yeah 4. No one would see me for like weeks. That was like my very first PlayStation game. That I spent hours upon hours on. I realized I had it downloaded on my PS Vita, and I was almost late clocking in to work a couple times because of that.
Damn.
Gotta catch those monkeys.
Boutique.
Is Final Fantasy 15 PlayStation exclusive?
No, it's on both PS4 and Xbox One.
Oh, that's cool. I was gonna say PS4, but for that, but it's kind of maybe. Or if they ever come out with Kingdom Hearts 3.
Both consoles too.
Oh,
Xbox
really?
One and
Oh,
PS4.
never mind, that's screwed.
Yeah.
If they come out for PC, then I'll be happier.
Knowing Square, they just put Final Fantasy Type 0 on Steam. So
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they're probably gonna put 15 on Steam too. You're just gonna need a very impressive rig to run it.
I'm good. Yeah.
They'll be like, okay, if you have anything under Windows 10, your computer will set
It
fire.
just melts. Your house burns down.
Or at least it'll take like 5 days to install the first disc.
The PS3 has some pretty sluggish internet when downloading originally. I hate it.
PS4 has sluggish downloading.
Yeah, but not as bad as PS3. PS3 was rugged.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean,
it's
literally-
like, okay, I'll see you in
literally
2
rugged.
days for that 8 gigabyte update.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Xbox One was like, whoop, and then I'd be sitting there, exact same game, like, so yeah, that's
Yeah.
upsetting
Xbox
flashback.
One updates so quick in
Off-
comparison.
tossing my hat for that question. To make me switch platforms, honestly, I play a lot on my PlayStation 4. I've actually been diving a lot into the mobile space and seeing, what's out there, what type of ingenuity and, more importantly, touch experiences there are. I think what would get me back in is like a big blockbuster, triple A non-shooter branded game from Sony. I'd like to see, another MotorStorm game or another just like almost like how Microsoft, is like shoehorning Tomb Raider, even though it's just a time exclusive, something like that. I played the Uncharted, it doesn't really do it for me. So something new or a reboot of a very old PlayStation platform exclusive would definitely get me on board. Next topic, early game. Yeah.
Siphon Filter.
Never played it.
Oh, dude.
Shooter? Right?
It's not. It's
Oh.
it's a
spy
stealth.
game.
It's a
Stealth.
stealth
Okay, I
spy
played that.
game.
I play what I mean. I play
That.
multiplayer with that.
Yeah, kind of like a Splinter Cell, but a bit more subtle.
Splinter Cell's cool.
Yeah.
I played the first Splinter Cell, man, it was good.
That's what they should reboot.
What about SOCOM?
Those games were pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think you got Counter-Strike for that now on Steam or something like that. Early game memories. So let's discuss your earliest gaming memories and what game or system got you into video gaming. Start us off.
Sega.
Genesis.
I remember playing Sega Genesis when I was a little guy. My babysitter, I had Sonic 3 and he had Sonic and Knuckles. So he would come over, he would slam that in, we'd 2P it. I'd be Tails, of course, he'd be Sonic, and we'd play through all Sonic 3 and Knuckles every time he babysat me. We were speed running that game, and I was like 4.
That's awesome. Same here. I was introduced to the Sega Genesis at 4. I played Afterburner.
Oh.
That's the first game I ever beat. I love that game.
Can't remember if it was the original Nintendo for me or I had an Amiga computer, which is technically Commodore. It wasn't Commodore 64, but it was a PC, and they had some interesting titles on there that was brought back a lot of memories for the early gaming experience. It was
All right. I'll be the old man in the room. The games that got me into it was definitely Street Your Age Golden Axe with my brother. Probably played those before, but that didn't really honestly get me as a gamer. What actually got me as a gamer hooked was Super Mario Kart 64. But prior to that, I also played God of Thunder and also Spit Wild Willy, which were both DOS games and very fantastically made. Small little teams, well done DOS-based, software, and I can't praise them enough for their simple mechanics and, entertainment value they offered.
E.T.
I think Golden Axe was one of my first too, because I had that on the Amiga too.
I felt like Golden Axe was at like every garage sale, so if you hadn't seen it, you were gone.
Yeah. That's funny because I had a Genesis and I never played Golden Axe. I played the heck out of Echo the Dolphin though.
That's
That game is
it's
hard.
really intense.
Yeah.
Echo the Dolphin.
It's
Super intense.
What is
the
this?
music like freaks you out too.
Yeah.
It's very intense.
Yeah, that game is also incredibly difficult.
Incredibly difficult.
Yeah, they made it. The creator of it said he made it so hard because he was afraid of people renting it and beating it over the weekend.
Nice.
That game caused seizures too, I think.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like seizure warnings all at the start.
You just like if you were getting down on some Echo the Dolphin, it was a weekend, a whole weekend of nothing but Echo the Dolphin.
I could even play as a kid. It like freaked me out.
Yeah, my parents couldn't figure out what the hell to do, and they were like, "How did you get past the first part?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, you have to like swim and jump up out of the water, and then these aliens will just abduct all the other dolphins." That's why I love Sega. They were obviously on something when they were making the games. Like Nintendo, they were stoned, but Sega, it was like some weird cocktail of whatever. I mean, Toe Jam and Earl, anyone?
Yeah.
Jones Soda, man, maybe. Back in the day. Like Steve
Toe
Jobs
Jam.
was at the
Spikes
Pepsi
Jones soda.
guy. Could be.
Toe Jam and Earl.
Jeremy, you want to chime in, or you want me to jump into
Oh
that?
yeah, I think the biggest game that got me into gaming would probably be the Pokemon games.
Good choice.
Like the original Pokemon Red and Blue.
Man.
I was like hooked, and then I
Those-
still play it today. So
Yeah, I remember I like didn't want to get into it when I was a kid, but all the kids at school were like, you have to play. So I'd run out and I grabbed myself Red and Silver because those were the two that I found at GameStop back when they sold Game Boy games. And I played it over summer. When I got back, they're like, oh no, it's Yu-Gi-Oh now. So I'm like, fine, I get into Yu-Gi-Oh. Then they're like, oh no, now it's Beyblade. I'm like, oh, I'm not doing Beyblade. I'm like, no, I'm not playing extreme Japanese dreidel.
Jeez. That and Digimon World was probably one of my all-time favorite games.
Yeah, people who say that Digimon is just a rip-off of Pokemon.
Oh, it's completely different. Yeah.
I've never actually seen the anime or played the games.
It's completely different.
Yeah, because Digimon actually has a really cohesive story for their anime.
Mm-hmm.
It has a real awesome show.
I was
Yeah.
too into Final Fantasy during the Digimon era.
I didn't get into Final Fantasy until I was mid-teens.
I was like
Oddly enough,
10 or 11.
I was more into Phantasy Star.
Oh, heck yeah. Like the GameCube?
Not like
Like even before like Dreamcast?
yeah, like
Okay.
Master System.
Oh, like the original. Okay.
Like
I was
Phantasy
thinking
Star
PSO.
1, 2, 3, and 4. Those games are hard.
All right. Great, guys. Good feedback. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, community. We have some fantastic stuff we're going to be covering next week, including Steam refund policy, which we'll be hitting on, elaborating on, and giving our thoughts here as a development studio on that, along with talking a little bit more in depth, kind of continuing with the East versus West, just kind of like accessibility options, and also how we look at game development for a fighting game from a Western perspective. Again, be sure to follow us at Indie Assault on Twitter or at Imagination Vent. Like us, Imagination Vent INC on Facebook. Subscribe right here because obviously this fantastic podcast